What it do with the folk, man? You already know what it is, man. It's your boy DT3 the Boom Beezy, man. Welcome to my live stream, man. Boxing Talk 155. Hard work, dedication. Hard work, dedication. Hard work, dedication. What it do with the folk, man? Welcome to the stream, man. Want to send a special shout out to everybody that tuned in. Let me get to these comments real quick. Shout out to my boy Chain with Ice, my boy George, the Doom Slayers, SA Sporting Advantage. My boy Chin Smoke, what it do with the smoke, man? Marta Machine, what's good with your boy? Muhammad Ali, what it do with the folk, man? Shout out to everybody that decided to slide through to give me some time, you know what I'm saying, to hear what your boy had to say about this particular topic. And what made me want to touch on this was Adrien Broner coming back, and then also recent situations that happened with Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder. And got a little something to say about that. And what's up, Serge? What it do with the folk? My boy Serge, what it do with the folk? Yeah, that is dedication, Ali. What's up, Serge? What's pimping with the pimp? But I feel like Adrien is doing himself a service. I know a lot of people don't believe that Adrien Broner is, you know, he a little suspect because Adrien Broner is good at putting on a good show. He's good at putting on some antics and making you think he's about to do something and he ain't really finna do nothing. Hence, when he was finna fight Manny Pacquiao, talking about he was doing it for the hood, and he didn't even throw one punch for the hood. But anyway, so I can understand why people might have some doubts with Adrien Broner, but I, for one, I don't have no doubts in Adrien Broner right now because Adrien Broner never really was that dedicated to the sport. He really wasn't. Like, I mean, what I mean is Adrien only trained when he had fights. That was the only time Adrien Broner ever trained, was when he had fights. And he based all of his fights off of just his God-given ability, period. That's what it was based on, his God-given ability. And when that didn't get him through via the Maidana fight, he never changed. He didn't go back to the drawing board and reinvent himself and refocus on the sport of boxing. He didn't do that. He just went right back to doing the same old bullshit he had been doing prior to that fight. And regardless, Adrien, you was wrong about how you went about that fight with Marcos Maidana because, for one, you shouldn't have never been on tour in the first place. That was your fault. The fact that you was on tour doing all that, promoting music and all that, bro, you was trying to do too much. You haven't even fully established yourself in boxing. You haven't accomplished enough is what I meant to say in boxing, to where you could just fuck off and do all that on that type of fight, because that fight is what's going to follow you forever. And even you said it via Vlad TV that Maidana was your hardest opponent. And I feel like, honest to God truth, only reason Maidana is your hardest opponent is because you didn't prepare properly for Maidana, and you underestimated Maidana, and you thought you was going to go in there and just wash Maidana, and he gave you something to think about by catching you with the nice, good looping left hooks that kept putting you on your ass and swole your face up to where they had to escort you out there like you was the queen of motherfucking England and shit. So, end of the day, I felt like you didn't learn the most valuable lesson, which is never underestimate your opponent, regardless of their skill level. It don't matter how much better skill wise you are than them. All it takes is one good punch or one lucky punch, and it can change the whole outcome of a fight. No matter what weight class, what division you're in, you get caught with the right punch in the right place, the right time. Trust me, you either gonna be asleep or you're gonna be on Wobble Street. One of the two. I think he could have beaten everybody he lost to. Jesse Vargas whooped your ass. I'm going to just be blowed and say that shit. I mean, I've been saying that for a minute, but Jesse Vargas whooped your ass, Adrien. He whooped your ass. So when you at the end of that fight talking about you whooped Jesse Vargas, shouldn't have been a draw and all that bullshit. No. Jesse Vargas whooped your ass. Like, I didn't even see you winning that fight like that. But Jesse Vargas whooped your ass. If there was not a fight where I could say somebody actually whooped your ass aside from Marcos Maidana, Jesse Vargas whooped your ass. Comparing your fight with Manny Pacquiao versus Keith Thurman's fight with Manny Pacquiao, I understand why you say what you say pertaining to Keith Thurman, because if you were to look at Adrien after the Manny Pacquiao fight and you look at Keith Thurman after the Manny Pacquiao fight, Keith Thurman, Manny Pacquiao beat your ass. Adrien Broner lost, but he didn't take no unnecessary punishment. He didn't take no beating. Keith, you got your ass beat by Manny. Manny whooped your ass. He did. He beat the fuck out you. Like, you was getting hit with shit that is like, God damn, bro. Like, why are you getting hit with that? You supposed to be a lot sharper than that. You supposed to have a little more head movement than that. You supposed to at least be out of position, be out of a position where he can't get to you. And you didn't even do that right. So, Keith, are you really that good? Are you really that good? Gotta question some of these dudes, man. You have to question how good these dudes really are. Are these dudes really that good? Are they really? Or are they only good when they fight certain people or certain fighters? They that good. We got to see how Tank do against a puncher first. I haven't seen Tank Davis underestimate nobody yet, because quiet is kept. The fight with Pedraza, he wasn't supposed to win that fight. We forget that shit. We forget that when he took that fight, a lot of people thought that fight was a little too early for him. He knocked Pedraza out. I mean, regardless of what reason he's coming back, regardless of that, and I'm not saying that what you're saying, Gentleman's Game, is a falsity or nothing like that. What I'm saying is, regardless of the reason, even if that is, he's training right now. See, Adrien could be going through, and this ain't the first time that the courts didn't try to get in his pockets, because the motherfucker got baby mamas that be in his pockets all the time. That's why he don't never really talk about how much money he really got or how much he makes when he does certain events or certain situations. You feel me? So with that, he usually don't go right back to the gym. He usually just go back to drinking, partying, doing his thug thing. But this time, he's actually on his shit. And maybe it could be like more detrimental. Like, we really finna take all your shit this time, Adrien. We ain't finna take we ain't finna find you a couple $100,000, couple here, couple. No. We finna get you for some tickets, couple mil, or some millions, or we finna start repossessing shit. And that could be a reason to motivate a person to get their shit together. And honestly, he's doing it the right way. You know what I mean? He's getting this shit right the right way by going back to the drawing board, really focusing on the craft of boxing. You can't knock a person for doing that. Please tell me, Boone, You seen Garcia talking shit about Floyd and taking FaceTime today. Nope, I didn't see it today. Matter of fact, hey, why don't you, if you got some time, feel free to slide on a panel and share your thoughts with us about it. Because I missed it. I've been doing family time, so I missed it today. So, Serge, if you got some info that could be very useful, hey, man, you're more than welcome to come share it, bro. And like I said, no stranger. So if I see a strange name pop up, I'm not rocking with you. What's up, Actual Facts Santos? What's up with you, bruh? What's up, Angel? What's popping? What's up, Dragon Leg? Yeah, if you got some time, Serge, and you can share some thoughts about that particular topic, bro, feel free. Slide on. Feel free. Because I did not look at it. I did not check it out whatsoever. For sure. Do your thug thing. What was it on? Via Fight Hype, Fight Hub? I'm gonna check it out right now. We're gonna have an exclusive with that right here, right now. We're gonna do that right here, right now, bro. We're gonna do that right now. By the way, I'm not subscribed to Fight Hype no more. They do too much clickbait. Too much clickbait. Too much clickbait. Let's get this. Let's get this. But I do respect Fight Hype for some of the shit they get. Some of the shit they get. Now, Fight Hype got the probably the same thing. They just got 1 minute and 8 seconds. We're gonna check it out.
You're gonna need a stairmaster, or you won't be able to touch me. You ain't never fought a 135 in your life. Just different. Just I don't care what you say. You ain't got nothing. You ain't got nothing. Boy, I don't care. You too ugly. I'm fucking care. Boy, I'm pretty. You ain't never seen nothing like me. I promise you. You go real. You see me with the whole time, man. 2 reels, though, I'm gonna take. How about you can talk to Mike? Have a good time with Mike. Yeah, shit, man. Yeah, shit, man. On me. Oh, don't worry. You can, hey, yeah, hit me with that shot. You're gonna need a stairmaster, boy. Yes. Hey, keyword, would've. If. Can the next fight be with this nigga, man? Nigga, we on worldwide television. Can you fight this nigga talking mad shit, man? Let's go. Let's go.
Ryan, why are you trying to bully Tank? I feel you. I understand you got to be confident. I think, yeah, you want that fight. But why you not got that energy for Devin Haney, who the WBC has mandated for you to fight next? You got all this energy for Tank Davis. And like you said yourself, he ain't fought nobody at 135. So why the fuck is you worried about somebody who ain't did shit at 135 and the motherfuckers that actually have fought people at 135? You ain't got no energy for them. None. What's up, Los? You ain't got no energy for them. You have no energy for nobody in your division, Ryan. You focused on Tank. Tank is not the unified. He is not a world champion. He's not none of that at 135. Tank Davis is not nothing significant or even minuscule worth you wasting your time at 135. He's a 130 pounder. And Ryan, bro, the reason why I'm saying this is because when it's Tank, we got that energy for Tank. What's up, David A? When it's Tank and he finna fight Leo Santa Cruz, 126 pounder, and Tank had just started campaigning at 35, and then he moved back down to 130 to fight Leo Santa Cruz, who was a 126 pounder, we giving Tank shit. We talking shit about Tank. We talking all the noise about Tank. When Tank doing that. When Jamal Charlo is fighting 54 pounders at 160 in a Brandon Adams and a Dennis Hogan, we giving Jamal Charlo shit. We giving him problems. We talking big shit about him then. But when Ryan Garcia call out Tank Davis, who's not even a real 135 pounder, it's cool. It's all right. We ain't supposed to say nothing about Ryan. We hating on Ryan then. We hating. But when we saying that same shit about Tank Davis or Jamal Charlo or Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford, Anthony Joshua, hell, even the Deontay Wilder, oh, it's all good for us to shit on our own people. It's all good for us to shit on black fighters and we're black analysts. It's okay to do that. But when we shit on you Mexicans and you other Asian fighters or you other ethnic fighters, when we shit on y'all for doing the same shit these black fighters are doing, oh, we hating. We hating then. We hate. Okay. Ryan, you on some punk shit with that, bro. You ain't even did enough. So basically, Luke Campbell was enough for you to feel good in your division. Luke Campbell was enough for you, Ryan. That's what you say. That's what you say. Everybody else probably on the YouTube box community is giving you all the props in the world because they are okay with just seeing you get a little touched on the chin, you fall, get back up. Oh, you got knocked down, you got back up, blah, blah, blah. What? Nah, I'm not impressed by that shit. I'm not. Because you are defensively retarded. Those type of mistakes are going to happen, bro. When you make those fundamental mistakes. You overly engage, you overcommit to your arsenal, and when you constantly try to back out, you back out head high, hella tall. You're there to be hit. Okay? You're there to be hit. You're not a good come forward guy. Because when it comes time for somebody to come back with a hard counter, you're not going to be ready, bro. What do you mean, Vic? Yes, better than Tank that ain't done shit. What do you mean? What do you mean? Tank is not a 135-pounder legitimately, bro. Tank is just a money man. I already told y'all Ryan Garcia is going to be the Mexican Amir Khan 2.0. I'm going to keep saying that. I'm going to keep saying that until Ryan Garcia proves me wrong. And until he proves me wrong, I believe he's going to be the Mexican Amir Khan 2.0. When he starts fighting real punchers. Because for real, Ryan, you underestimating Tank Davis. Tank Davis is a puncher. He a puncher. I know Tank ain't 135. That's what I'm saying. He ain't 135 pounds. And another thing that people keep forgetting, it was something that me, Two Hands, and I forgot who else, and even D. Jeff, fast feet beat fast hands. What does Tank Davis have that Ryan Garcia don't got? What does Tank Davis have that Luke Campbell did not take advantage of? Feet. Feet. He has very good head and waist movement, bro. Canelo has very good hand and waist movement. We know Canelo don't have the best feet in the world, but his head movement, his waist movement is nice. Okay? It's really nice. It's real nice. Ryan got fast hands. Ryan got youth on his side. When Ryan gets older, he ain't going to be so good. I'm telling you. Unless Ryan in these next few fights show some more dimensions in his game, I'm telling you. He going to get fucked up. Canelo, thank you, Actual Facts, my boy Angel. Canelo is good at rolling punches. He's good at taking some steam off of your shit. He's really good at that. For sure, Unicorn. I got you. That is true. You all right, Alex? Let me get to this comment real quick. Alex Gonzalez says, bruh, didn't Tank move up because he didn't make weight at 130? Correct me if I'm wrong. No, my nigga, you is correct. Tank moved up because he could not maintain weight at 130 pounds. And then he moved up to 135 to fight Gamboa and still missed weight. Still. They moved you up to 35 because you came in at one fight. I forgot what fight it was. You came in the fight and you was weighing 132 or 33 pounds. And that was a fight at 130. Then they said you outgrew the 130-pound division. They said they was going to move you up to 35. Then you moved up to 35 and you still was 2 pounds off at 135. So that just shows a lack of discipline right there. That really shows a lack of discipline on Tank Davis's part. But then he came back and made sure he kept his weight up. Yes, sir. Thank you, Serge. I wouldn't say he has bad timing because Ryan, he know what he's looking at. I give Ryan that. Like he got that. He got that youthful eye. He got that youthful energy. He got that youthful. Everything about him is youth. Everything is youth. But I want to see him transcend that because once your youth is over, once you get into them 30s and in the late 30s, all these little natural God-given attributes dwindle down to the point where now you got to rely on your skills, your fundamentals. You don't have a lot. You're lacking some fundamentals, Ryan. You're lacking. Okay? You're too flat-footed. Boxing is not about who could throw the most punches or who could throw the harder punches. Boxing is the art of hitting and not getting hit. What's my opinion on Floyd fighting Logan Paul? Money grab. It's all a money grab. That's all it is. It's the money team. That's what it is, man. Logan Paul got over 1 million plus followers or subscribers on YouTube. He got over 1 million people probably following him all over social media. I mean, think about it. People gonna come and watch it. Just because it's Logan Paul and you fighting arguably the #1 defensive fighter of all time in the Floyd Mayweather in the exhibition, of course they finna tune in. Of course they finna pay for that. Of course they is. They talked all, and the cold part about it, let me be real with y'all. The cold part about it, if y'all can recall, didn't they talk hella shit about Eddie Hearn for doing that shit? Didn't they blast Eddie Hearn for doing that dumb shit? Didn't they get at Eddie Hearn saying that was bad for boxing? The Logan Paul KSI fight, all that shit. Didn't they say that was bad for boxing? And now those fights or those exhibitions are bringing more fans to the sport of boxing than our actual boxers that actually been doing this shit their whole life. We got dudes that are casuals just now coming into the gym, learning boxing probably for the first time in their life, stepping in the ring, not having no amateur experience whatsoever, and they coming together, getting a multi-million-dollar payday in the sport of boxing and don't have no experience and bringing their million fan base. These are gamers, by the way, and they're bringing their fan base to the sport of boxing. And half of their fan base, if not more than half of their fan base, didn't know shit about boxing, could have cared less about boxing, ain't thought about boxing, none of that shit. But now all of a sudden, you got KSI boxing. Now a good percentage of his fans is probably watching boxing now. Logan Paul, now he boxing. You got a couple of people now that wasn't watching boxing. Now they following it because of Logan Paul. Jake Paul's the same thing. And I told y'all that Jake Paul was going to beat the shit out of Nate Robinson because Nate Robinson don't train boxing. And I'm going to say this to all you dumb motherfuckers that kept thinking that because Nate Robinson was athletic and a former basketball player, he was going to really do something to a motherfucker that's been sleeping, eating, shitting, walking, talking, boxing for the last 365 days of his life. And then here come this dude just pop up and say, I'll fight him. Just because you're willing to fight don't mean you have everything necessary, all the tools necessary you need to win it. And I knew I knew Jake Paul was going to get Nate. I didn't know he was going to get him like that. But I knew he was going to get him. Because Nate don't train. Okay? He don't train. He can look good hitting the mitts. He can look good shadow boxing. He can look good hitting the bag all he want to. But the nigga ain't never until, like Mike Tyson said, everybody got a plan until they get hit in the face. Now what you gonna do? What you gonna do? And y'all not sparring nobody that's better than you. That's why a lot of these fighters are staying at the same level. They not progressing. Not progressing at all. They stand at the same level because they sparring partners are the same. They know they sparring partners. They know what they could do. They know what they can't do. All the shit. A lot of these fighters will not spar dudes that are better than them or on their level. Period. Period. I said Jake Paul takes the sport a lot more serious, Vic. I said that. I said Jake Paul take the sport way more serious than Logan. I think Jake Paul beat the shit out of KSI because Jake Paul really want to be good at boxing. Jake Paul really want to do it. Logan just doing it because it's something to do. But Jake really want to be something in this shit to where I wouldn't be surprised in the next few years if Jake Paul actually really take a full-fledged career in boxing and start fighting some of these decent boxers. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not saying he'll do it, but I'm saying I wouldn't be surprised if Jake Paul took that. KSI is garbage in boxing. He just pretty big, but he garbage. He don't got no technique, none of that shit. He garbage. Y'all need to get rid of Tundi. You need to get rid of Tundi as his trainer. His manager, I wouldn't say get rid of him as your manager. And I just say get rid of him as your trainer. Because Tundi can get you some fights. Tundi will get you in the ring. Tundi will keep you active. All this shit. He will. He will. But he's terrible in your corner. Terrible. 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 Anybody that tells you to empty the tank in the 8th round against a world champion, come on, bro. Tundi, you should have knew better. I mean, I'm going to hold that against you forever. Forever and a day. So, you think he'll go to MMA, Serge? You think Jake could go to MMA? We'll see. Yeah, and that's the thing. People just banking on athleticism. Oh, he athletic and he could do this and he fast. He naturally fast. It's one thing to be fast, but it's another thing to know how to use it. Use your speed. It's another thing to be strong, but it's a whole nother other avenue to know how to use your power. And a lot of these dudes is fast, don't know how to use their speed. A lot of these dudes are strong, don't know how to use their power. Anthony Joshua. Yeah, I'm talking about you, AJ. You big as fuck, and yet and still, you don't know how to use your power to your advantage. There's no way that Kubrat Pulev should have went as long as he went with you. Hell yeah, Serge. You already know. I told you. You already know. Bro, do you think boxing is coming back better? Fuck no. This is when you know boxing is coming back and it's coming back better. Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford, easy work, fight is happening, no bullshit, no games. Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua, no bullshit, no games. Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury, no bullshit, no games. No political bullshit. Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, no bullshit, no games. Yo, Boo Boo Andrade versus Billy Joe Saunders, no bullshit, no games. Billy Joe Saunders, Canelo. Jamal Charlo, Canelo. Jermell Charlo, Canelo. Jermell Charlo, Terrence Crawford. Errol Spence, Jermell Charlo. Errol Spence, Jared Hurd. Come on. I'm just saying. Deontay Wilder, Dillian White. When we start seeing these dudes fight each other, yeah, we could talk about something coming back to the glory days. Because the glory days, everybody fought everybody. All the top guys fought everybody. Canelo want legacy. Canelo want legacy. So you know what Canelo doing? Hey, we're going to move to 68. Who's the head nigga at 68? Okay, him. We're going to fight him next. After we beat him, who's the next guy? Okay, we're going to fight him. That's what Canelo doing. If you want a Canelo fight, you got to fight the dude that Canelo looking at. You got to put yourself in a position where Canelo can't look past you. See, a lot of these dudes are in a position that they in and not even knowing that Canelo is looking at you. Some of these dudes don't even know they're being looked at. Jamel is going to become undisputed at 54, then moving up. That's what he's going to do, I promise you. Jamel is going to become undisputed at 54, and he's going to move up to 160. Jamal is going to move from 160 to 168, claiming that he's chasing Canelo, when in reality, Jamal, you are not chasing Canelo, because if you were chasing Canelo, you'll be fighting the opponents that Canelo is looking at. You'll be putting yourself in position to fight them. All you doing is clout chasing Canelo, saying his name to make yourself seem more relevant. Feel me? Because after you fought Deverenchenko, you was looking like that motherfucker, boy. You know what I'm saying? And your 1-2 punch throwing ass ain't gonna do shit to Canelo. Canelo gonna box circles on you. He gonna have you swinging that air. The one out of the two brothers, out of the Charlo brothers, the one that shows dimensions is Jermell. He showed dimensions. He showed he could move and he could do a lot more. Jamal is kind of one-dimensional. Big, strong guy, come forward, wear you down, walk you down, all the shit. Losing, and that's the cold part. Y'all worried about but losing is a part of the game. It's like you could say you the best. Like Floyd could say he the best because he fought all the guys of his era, regardless of when he fought them, but he still fought all the top guys of the era. He did. These guys won't even do that. And I think a lot of these dudes wouldn't even fight them when they pass their prime. They probably will just look past them and not even fight them. It's very cowardice nowadays, bro. Very cowardice what these fighters is doing. A lot of these fighters do not want to see nobody. A lot of these fighters will call out Terrence Crawford, but they're not going to fight him. A lot of these fighters will call out Errol Spence. They probably really ain't going to try to fight him. A lot of these fighters are going to call out Canelo. They're not going to even put themselves in position or in line to get a Canelo fight. A lot of these fighters talking about Anthony Joshua ain't even putting themselves in line for the fight. It's ridiculous. It's all clout chasing, bruh. All of it. You still got Shelly Finkel and Wilder saying that Tyson Fury under contract. Let me repeat that. We still got Deontay Wilder and Shelly Finkel saying that Tyson Fury is under contract. It's been a year. It's about to be a year come February, 22nd of this year? When have we ever seen in the history of sport of boxing that an already signed rematch took a whole year to happen? A whole year, and not because of a fighter getting injured, like something actually being serious, like he got hurt or something like that. No, nothing like that. Just a bunch of bogus bullshit. When have we ever heard that in the history of boxing? A fight that's supposed to happen, a third fight, a trilogy that's supposed to happen, take a whole year. Nobody got injured. Everybody is healthy. Both teams is pretty much on the up and up. Both teams, in a sense, claim they want the fight, but yet and still, we don't have a date, venue, none of that. Why? To me, as a boxer, Wilder's a bitch. All you LDBC motherfuckers that sit there and want to hype this shit up, let me sprinkle y'all real quick. To all you 21 motherfuckers that's up in here, let me tell y'all something. When they came up with this Glovegate shit, and they said how Wilder had a dent in his head, and they said all this hella far after, right? Let me ask y'all a question. Since everybody want to hype on this Glovegate and he did all this blah 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 blah, we done already said Marcelo Suleiman and sat there and watched him wrap his hands and he did all that stuff, right? We already talked about that, right? Well, what nobody has talked about, didn't Wilder go to the hospital after that fight? I repeat, Didn't Deontay Wilder go to the hospital after he fought Tyson Fury? Correct me if I'm wrong. Somebody let me know. Didn't he go to the hospital? Last time I checked. Ain't nobody hear nothing about no dents coming from your ass then. What's up, GCGB? Ain't nobody say nothing to you then. Where was y'all at? If Wilder was so fucked up, if Wilder was head was dented in, bent it up, fucked up, where's the doctor's note that you got when you went to the hospital after Fury whooped your ass? What that doctor's note say? Nothing. You had a little scar in your ear. That's it. That's it. Some swelling, a couple bruises. That's it. That's it. Didn't no doctor come forth and say you was fucked up, you had a dent in your head? Because trust and believe, ain't no doctor finna leave that out your doctor's note or your doctor report. And based on the way you went to the hospital and based on the way you lost the fight, motherfuckers was checking for you, bro. Motherfuckers wanted to know if you was okay. And based on reports from ESPN and the Zone and Sky Sports and even UPVC niggas, Wilder didn't have no severe trauma whatsoever based on reports. After you fought Fury, then all of a sudden 2-3 months later, now you got all these problems? Now you got a dent in your head, and then it was an egg weight and all this shit. Wilder been done, bro. Wilder been done. He been done. Been told you he was done. Been told you. Everything you see now from Wilder is a show. He forgot it was a fight. It's a show. All Wilder wanted to do was put on a show for you niggas. That's it. Yeah, there were egg weights in the glove. And I can tell you, I'm gonna keep it so real with y'all. Have any of y'all ever held an egg weight before? Real shit. Think about it. Think about it. You got a 2 to 4 pound egg weight in your hand, right? Right? And you hitting somebody hard with this weight. You think Wilder would have stayed on his feet? Ain't near nigga that tough. Put an egg weight in your hand and put a glove on and just tap your face and watch how. The only reason I'm telling you that because I did it. Only reason I'm telling you that is because I did it. You put an egg weight in your hand and put your hand in the glove. For one, you won't even really be able to fully close your fist like that. You'll be able to tell that you can't close your fist, and you'll see the fucking egg weight in the glove like clear as day. And you'll be able to see a big ass ball in their hand. Like you will be able to see that shit. And it's like you contradict yourself. 1 minute y'all say he was flicking his shit, right? Look how he was doing it. How could he do that and he had egg weights in his hand? Pick a struggle. How could he do all that and he got egg weights in his hand? 1 minute y'all talking about that, flicking. Got you, bro. 1 minute you talking about him flicking the wrist. The next minute is egg weight. Pick a struggle. You can't have an egg weight in your hand and flick your wrist like that, bro. So fuck all you YouTubers. Fuck you LDBC, bitch ass nigga, Young Pharaoh, BFTV, Blue Blood, 78, you bitch ass niggas. Fuck you hoes. There's no way you can have a fucking egg weight in your hand and still flick your wrist like that at the same time, you dumb fucks. I don't even know why the fuck y'all even got people looking at y'all stupid shit. Common sense, bro. Common sense. None of that shit came out after Wilder went to the hospital when he just lost to Fury. None of it. So if the doctor that he went to go see, which I'm sure is his personal doctor or somebody that Al Heyman got on payroll, if that individual didn't come forth and come up and say, oh, it was this, oh, it was that, and it was all over ESPN because the event was an ESPN event. ESPN was a part of it. They was covering it. So trust and believe. The biggest sporting engine in the world, trust me, if it was some illegal activities going on, if nobody would have covered it, ESPN would have for sure got that shit. No doubt. But they didn't. So Wilder, Shelly Finkel, your old, bald, bitch ass, fuck you, and fuck Wilder, you soft, drained ass bitch. You just campaigning for another motherfucking ass whooping from fucking Tyson Fury. That's all you doing is campaigning for a whole nother ass whooping. What's up, Serge?
How's it going, Boone, man? Thanks for having me, bro. I hear what you're saying, bro. I've been a follower of this crazy story and kind of watching all over YouTube before I kind of even got in and made a channel and was able to kind of see it from every different side and see different people posting these videos. I remember on my phone one day I was at work and I pull my phone out and I see one of these boxing pages on Instagram I followed had a post about Nicholas Ashbury kind of going through. I don't know if you've seen that video. I don't know. Let me know if you have, bro. I don't know.
No, I haven't.
I don't know, bro. Like that video just looks so fuck. I don't know, man. It looks so suspect. You know what I mean? It looks like a possible kind of a defamer. You know what I mean? Like where he's just coming at him, trying to make a name off of it, or just trying to stay relevant. Like there was definitely you should probably watch it because it's a very weird video in a fact that it's basically him going in. He goes, I was just brought into Tyson Fury's camp for the last couple of weeks. I was come here to spar with Tyson Fury. We just sparred and yeah, so he goes up to the gloves and he's in the change room. He goes, first of all, let's look at these gloves that I was using. And he goes, yeah, normal Everlast, sparring gloves. And he's touching them and he's feeling them. He's doing this all from his phone and he's feeling them and he's going, okay, yeah, look at these. These are the gloves they gave me to wear. And he goes, here's Tyson, here's Fury's gloves. And it's in this perfect little like clothing hamper. And he goes in and he pulls one out. And he starts pressing it, you know what I mean, Boone, and squeezing in on it. He goes, no fucking padding here. There's no fucking padding here. I don't see anything. And then he goes, starts shaking it, and an egg weight falls out or some sort of like, you know how they make what egg weights are. They make the slim, they make the slim version too. It was one of those ones. And I go, what the fuck is this? I go, you're telling me he's first of all stupid enough to leave those things around where people can like
think
sparring
about it.
Partners and people can find them
and
leave the egg weights in there. But this is what a lot of these guys use, Boone, as their as part of their argument. Hey man, Nicholas Ashbury, like solid guy, boxer, you know what I mean? Here's a guy who's been put up to spar with him, you know what I mean? And here's what he found, and there's video proof, you know what I mean? I don't know what to like. I don't know if I can take that seriously.
What I will say, Serge,
yeah,
a lot of people don't really know is that a lot of these dudes is paid. These dudes is paid. LDBC niggas, they paid. Them fuck boys, they paid. Fighters pay them to cover their ass. I don't care who it is, if it's Al Heyman, PBC, somebody on the PBC side. I don't care. When I say Al Heyman's paying them, that don't mean Al Heyman calling them, but Al Heyman know about them. Yeah, he knows about them, and I know for a fact that PBC is paying the LDBC. Some representative of the PBC is paying LDBC motherfuckers to cover their fighters and to control the narrative. That's what it is. So it's easier to paint the picture. Oh, they cheated. He cheated. He cheated. He this. He that. Okay. All right. Whatever. Y'all paid. So y'all gonna come up with every little. Think about it. If all this evidence came forth and if it was any truth to it, do you think Tyson Fury would still be a champion right now?
No, absolutely not.
Think about it for a second.
No.
Because if it was true, trust me, Fury would not have the belt. And I'll be on Fury's ass. But for some strange reason, Fury still has the belt. All investigations have proven that everything that's going against Fury is to be proven to be false. And Fury, I commend you, Tyson Fury, because I'd be suing like a motherfucker for defamation of character. I'd be suing out the ass. But you ain't tripping like that. I respect that. But me, I'd be suing because they all lying on you, and these are things that could actually, if anybody were to believe it, it could get him incriminated and possibly some jail time. Because it's aggravated assault and attempted murder. Those are some really harsh charges, you know. So the fact that Tyson Fury is still trying to turn the other cheek and look the other way and saying, F you, I'm going to still keep pushing. Hey, you the better man than me, Tyson, because I'd be in the courtroom. For real. But that's how I think about that situation. And the reason why I would say hard work and dedication is because a lot of these fighters don't work hard and they're not dedicated. And a lot of these fans, are kind of giving the fighters that actually put forth the energy and the hard work and the dedication, the Canelos, even the Errol Spences, even though the only gripe I give Errol Spence is that he won't fight Terrence Crawford, but the man works hard. He came back in good fashion in his last fight, even though I felt like Danny could have turned it up on him a little bit, but the way that Errol still performed, he was able to still do him. He was still looking pretty good for a guy to coming off of an accident and to fight a fighter of the caliber of a Danny Garcia. He did well, in my opinion. And Terrence Crawford is a fighter that's very dedicated to the sport. I even say Ryan Garcia is dedicated to the sport, but his chin ain't. So
I hear what you're saying, bro. Yeah, and like I said, that's why I shouted out that video earlier, bro, because I thought that was crazy. Obviously, the cameras are on. They're filming Mike Tyson's podcast, which is great. And he's eating it up. He's able to be there with a legend, Mike Tyson, probably a guy that hugely he inspires him. So I don't blame him for kind of him amplifying his persona a little bit, but we might be looking back at a couple months at some I told you so videos. You know what I mean?
Yep. I swear, Ryan, if you get beat up by Tank, I'm finna replay that shit.
Oh, people are gonna make those. They're gonna make some memes, some edits.
It's gonna be some memes.
I might have to make one myself.
I'm trying to tell because he doing all this talking, and it's like Ryan, and like I was saying earlier, Serge, it's like we was given all these, you know, as a black man, I get a lot of heat for talking shit about black fighters. Mm-hmm. But the moment I keep that same energy for other ethnic groups, it's a different situation. I'm hating. I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know shit about boxing. But people love to see me shit on Wilder. They love to see me shit on Tank Davis. They love to see me shit on Jamel and Jamal Charlo. No. Well, when Ryan Garcia is doing the same shit that they doing, he deserves some smoke too, because when Jamal Charlo fought Brandon Adams, a dude that's 154 pounds, and you fight at 160, we gave him shit. So why we ain't gonna give Ryan Garcia shit for calling out Tank Davis, who is a known 130-pound fighter? Exactly. And ain't done shit at 35 significant, and the guys that are at 35, you ain't have no energy towards. And you've already been mandated to fight Devin Haney next, but you don't have no energy for that. You all for Tank. So in that, your mindset, I think Devin Haney will beat the living shit out of you, just on the fact that your mental is not focused on Devin Haney. You on Tank.
I hear that. I absolutely hear that. And if he does get the Haney fight before he gets some sort of, but like you said, he's campaigning so hard for this Tank fight. This is like once this podcast drops, this is probably going to happen. You know what I mean? It'll be more widely spread, that whole clip or whatever. You know, get clipped more times on the podcast with all the nice camera editing. They all put it together and shit like that. And I'm sure there'll be a whole 10-minute discussion before and after, which I'm looking forward to listening to the whole thing about the whole matchup in general. Tyson's playing matchmaker on this one, people. He's gonna get this one set, hook, line, sinker right away.
And I think Tyson finna start being a promoter himself. So I mean,
it's perfect.
I think what's the thing? He got the Legends Only or something.
Legends Only, yeah. You got that Legends Only, yeah.
So I mean, he's doing his stuff, and I mean, and Mike Tyson is Mike Tyson, and he's really re-solidified himself in not just the boxing world, but the fight world. Like all fighters is like rocking with Mike, from MMA to kickboxing, boxing, all over. Like they fucking with Mike Tyson, period. So Mike Tyson is not just when people say Mike Tyson, yeah, he's known as a boxer.
Oh, he's bigger than boxing.
Yeah, but he's loved by all combat sports.
Yeah,
all over.
Yeah,
and there's very few fighters in all combat sports that's loved throughout all combat sport. So shout out Mike Tyson. I think Ryan was a little stoked because I saw an interview by Fight Hype where they was talking to him and they said Mike Tyson said something about him and he was just like, oh my God, and this Mike Tyson, he knows who I am. Mike Tyson know who all the boxers are, bro. This Mike Tyson. He's gonna know who you are. It's not, to me, I'm not starstruck. I've never been a starstruck god. You know what I'm saying? Because I look at them as just regular people. So I've never, like, my only celebrity crush that I've ever had was Aaliyah. Rest in peace. That was my only celebrity crush ever was Aaliyah. But anytime I've seen the Warriors players up close and personal, I've had conversations with them. I'm talking about old school, Tim Hardaway, Chris Mullin, Mitch Richmond, Chris Webber, Latrell Sprewell. I'm talking about them years. That's what I'm talking about. I ain't talking about the recent ones.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah. I feel that.
Yeah, I got to meet them, and I wasn't like, oh my God, it's Latrell Sprewell, it's Chris Webber, and you see him on TV, and it's like, and I tell people I met him before, and they get so starstruck by it, and it's like, bro, he's just a regular person. When you really sit down and talk to these people, they just regular people. They just on TV, you know, and it's like, don't be so starstruck. But Ryan was so starstruck because it was Mike Tyson, and then when he was on Mike Tyson's Hot Boxing with Mike Tyson, and he talking to Tank Davis, it's like, bruh, I honestly think that the Tank Davis Ryan Garcia fight may happen before a Devin Haney fight. I just got a feeling that might happen. It might happen.
Oh, I think it's going to, man. I think that you're hitting it right on the nail. Like, I think that absolutely that fight, just with those two guys, just with everything that's been going on, with all the hype that's already around it instantly after the win. You know what I mean? Pretty much it was right to that. You know what I mean? Haney didn't even come into consideration, only for a slight second. I don't know if you saw the other video, if you saw his, because obviously he was there with his pops, and him and his pops, I guess, were talking to Bernard Hopkins about why they think that you should let Ryan come on, get Ryan to come fight Devin right now. Let's go. This is it. This is the time. Let's go. And Bernard kind of did his classic Bernard of saying little with a lot of words. You know what I mean? Where he kind of talks for 8 minutes and doesn't say much, but he basically gives the credit to Haney and says that he's a good boxer. And basically that I think that right now with the following that Garcia brings, like we were talking about, that he's arguably a bigger star just for that. Just from having that following. So I don't know. It's gonna be exciting. We'll see.
When you say we, Dan, what do you mean we? Because I want Ryan to focus on the 135 division. I really could care less about him fighting Tank Davis, really, personally, because how I'm looking at it is like, okay, you pretty much, if I look at from the time Ryan kind of hit the scene, right? He's been talking about Tank. Every time he do something or he wins a significant fight, to him or to most people, the first name he say is Tank. I want Tank. He been calling out Tank since he was like, what, 6, 7, maybe 10 fights in. He been calling out Tank. And then I even said at that time, Tank is going to get him because of the same reason why I'm saying he'll get him now. But then I started seeing him get more experience, and I saw Tank really not focused, not training. And then I was like, okay, if Ryan fight Tank now, Ryan to get him. Because Ryan focused. He's in the gym. He training. Tank is eating Sonic, slapping his baby mama, going to sporting events. Like, he's not in the gym. Ryan in the gym. So Ryan going to have the gas. He going to have the discipline. He going to have a lot more going for himself in the fight than Tank. But then when I started seeing Tank get back to the drawing board and he's really focused on the craft, and it's like, okay, now he dangerous. Mm-hmm. Now he's dangerous because now Tank is in the gym. So
he's in the gym now, yep.
Yeah, so it's like, I don't know, Ryan, because I already picked Tank to beat you prior. And that was that was the focus Tank. Like I said, Tank was focused all the way up to in my opinion, until he fought Pedraza. Mm-hmm. And once he fought Pedraza, it was like, it's like, no, Tank, you have not arrived yet. I mean, I get it. You arrived in some sense, but you have not arrived yet. But, you know, you can't tell. You live and you learn. People go through trials and errors, and I get that. You know what I mean? Who has Tank beat? That you're serious? Hold up. What do you say? Let me get back. Who the fuck has Tank beat? I'm curious. Well, nobody at 35. He just beat Leo Santa Cruz at 130 pounds. He beat Gamboa. I mean, who does he need to fight? Who does he need to fight for you, Ethan, for you to feel like... Because, I mean, you've been shitting on Tank for the God knows how long, Ethan. So who do you think Tank needs to fight? Tank beat up Leo, who couldn't crack an egg, and a no-chin Gamboa. Wow. You going to say no-chin Gamboa? Ethan, I'm finna rip you a whole new asshole and give it back to your mama. Check this out. Yuriorkis Gamboa has one of the biggest hearts in combat sports, not boxing, combat sports. And I'm going to ask this to this man right here, Serge. How many fighters you know from MMA, boxing, will fight on a torn Achilles and they're getting hit by a known puncher?
Man, in a boxing match, none. Not a lot, man. Not a lot. None. I'd say there's only one guy this year, and it was a great fight this year. One guy tore his ACL mid-fight, like really tore it, and fought through a 3-round fight, ending up winning the fight. But as far as Achilles, man, like that's some shit as a boxer that you absolutely need to stand there and throw punches. So I don't think you'd ever see you'd see a lot of people stay with that as a boxer.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So the fact that Yuriorkis Gamboa fought, and it's proven because he went to the doctor, showed the note that he actually actually tore it, not sprained.
Yeah,
no, he tore that shit, and he still kept fighting, and he was getting his ass beat, and he still kept fighting. He did not one time say, you know what, my shit is torn. Tank beat my ass. I'm not, man. Fuck it, it's over with. Give him the dub. I can't. No, he was like, fuck it. He gonna have to knock me out. He has to knock me out. I'm not quitting. I'm not quitting. How many fighters you know, Ethan, is going to fight on a torn Achilles and still getting the shit punched out of them by Tank Davis or a known puncher? How many? Devin Haney. Thank you, Dragon Leg. Devin Haney couldn't even knock out Yuriorkis Gamboa. And Yuriorkis Gamboa was fully healthy, all the shit. So what that tell you? Which should have made it easier for Tank to do? I don't understand that question. I don't understand that question. Thank you, Talk MMA Live. And by the way, Yuriorkis Gamboa is pretty much a 40-year-old man, by the way. You know why Crawford knocked him to another planet? Because Crawford got popped. Like that, you know what I'm saying? Like Crawford got, you ever think that maybe Crawford could punch like a motherfucker? You ever thought that? Maybe Crawford really do got real power that people was not giving him the credit for. Just saying. You know, but I said this the other day, just yesterday, about Ryan and Tank. I feel like both fighters have the potential to beat each other. In my personal opinion, if both fighters come in 100%, like at their best skill-wise and all that, I think it's a 50-50 fight. I really do. I think it's a 50-50 fight. I think if Ryan can execute his game plan and he can make Tank overcommit and gas out, I think Ryan could get him. I do. But I also think if Ryan stands too flat-footed and he think because Tank is short, he just finna overwhelm Tank. Tank's sneaky, Ryan. You think that uppercut Leo Santa Cruz caught? Like, he didn't see that coming. And that's Tank money punch is the uppercut. And when you do this dumb shit, Tank gonna light your ass up every time. That's what I'm telling you. You know what I'm saying? And you got to understand who Tank got. He has arguably the best defensive fighter of all time in his corner. You don't think Floyd Mayweather is like, hey, look, this is what we finna do. We finna do whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop-whoop. We finna get him here. And you don't think they looked at what Luke did and was like, hey, if I do that, come on, bro. And Luke didn't even punch through Ryan. Luke just threw that hand out just to keep him off of him as a counter because he was overcommitting. You can't overcommit to Tank like that. You can't. And Luke Campbell cannot fight in the phone booth. Guess who can? Tank. Just saying. He can fight in that thing. Ryan has height. Ryan needs to learn to move his head, which he should learn. Everyone knew Tank was going to light up Leo. Yeah, because Leo Santa Cruz is defensively retarded, just like Ryan Garcia. I'm not hating on Ryan. I like Ryan. I do. I think Ryan is trying to be the next Canelo. He like trying to be like Canelo and Oscar in one, I think. I think he's trying to be both of them in one for real. But he ain't Oscar because Oscar was a dog. Oscar fought everybody in their prime. Gotta respect Oscar. You a shitty promoter, Oscar, but you were a hell of a fighter when you fought. I give you that. But Ryan ain't fighting the top dudes in their prime. He not gonna do that. Ryan wants to do the same shit Oscar did by trying to follow Floyd, and he thinking that the best way he's like Oscar's still trying to beat Floyd. You know, that's what he's trying to do.
Man, Oscar, bro, Oscar was I saw him on an interview today. I didn't fully watch the video, so if anyone wants to go check it out, I'm not sure who it was. Man, I think he was on video today talking subconsciously through the video to Triple G, saying it wouldn't be as easy as you would think. I wouldn't be a walk in the park, I believe is what he was quoted as for Triple G. This is a man who's still talking about that. Why? I have no idea.
That's crazy.
Like, I can't believe I saw that today. I was like, is this like a back posted video? Like, was this taken months ago? I think it looked like it was from today, man. Like,
that's another thing. Like Triple G fighting Jaime Munguia. That's something that I haven't spoke upon, and I haven't shared my thoughts about what I thought about Triple G fighting Jaime Munguia. I don't know how Jaime gonna stand up to Triple G. Do Jaime got the pop to keep Triple G off of him? Because Triple G is not no Saddam Ali. He ain't him. You know what I mean? And you gonna have to really work. And Triple G got that. Triple G's jab is what's gonna carry him in that fight, in my opinion. His jab is like a fucking right hand. And I think Jaime Munguia will not be able to deal with Triple G's pressure. And I think Jaime is going to try to fight a boxer's fight. I think he's going to try to keep him on the end of his jab and move around and do hella other little shit. And Triple G is just going to be Triple G and just walk him down and pound him. And I think Triple G is going to stop him in round 8. That's what I think. I got Triple G stopping Jaime Munguia in 8. Quote me. Come back and cuss me out later. I got him winning that. I got Triple G beating Andrade. I got him beating Andrade. The reason why I say that, a lot of people are like, Andrade. The reason why I say that is because Andrade is a boxer puncher. He wants to keep you on the end of his punches. He wants to keep you at bay. He don't want to really get in there. And then when he's swinging, he swings really wild, especially when he get tired. He just starts swinging hella wild and shit. And what Triple G showed in his last fight, he can move his head a little bit, and he's not going to stand there and take unnecessary punishment. And in my personal, humble opinion, I honestly feel like Triple G is the best phone booth fighter in boxing today, because he's the only fighter that I've ever seen that looks so comfortable in the pocket. Like, I've never seen a fighter look comfortable in the danger zone where you know you gonna get hit, and he's just like, yeah, that's great. Pop, pop, pop. And he's still giving it to you, taking little shit, and he's still coming. Never seen a fighter more comfortable in the pocket and more composed in the phone booth, in the pocket than Triple G. And I've never seen a fighter more composed in a fight than Floyd Mayweather. I think those two fighters are some of the most composed fighters in their respective field and what they do good. Defensively, just in the ring, I feel like Floyd is just so composed. It's like he's so aware of everything. Everything I watched about Floyd, watch fighters talk about fighting him, they all say the same thing. He's aware of everything. He knows how much time is on the clock. Like he knows everything. He knows when you're tired. He could tell by how tired you are by the way you're breathing. I saw that in the Andre Berto interview. Like he said, he knew how tired I was and all that. He knows when to turn up, and it's like Floyd. He just has that IQ in there. And Triple G is so composed. He never looks like he's irritated. He never looks like he's frustrated. He always looks like he's like, that's all you got. Okay, I'm coming. I don't give a fuck. So, Ethan, you are a hater. You a hater. You're not for boxing. You're for a fighter. So you are a hater. Because all I'm doing is giving fighters credit where they deserve it. Floyd is the biggest asshole in the fucking world. But as a boxer, you got to give that man his props. I don't give a damn about whatever he do outside the ring, but what he do in that bitch, he's the motherfucking man.
Absolute fucking hater. Whatever.
Yeah. He's washed up. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I know Dragon Leg. Yeah, you said damn in 8, but I think he'll get him in 8. Of course, he only fights at 160. He don't want that smoke at 68. Triple G is going to have the most title defenses at 60. He's going to be a Hall of Famer at 60 because he broke some records at 160. You can hate on him all you want to, all the shit, because when Jermell Charlo become undisputed at 154, and the first time undisputed champion has been at 154 since Winky Wright, he could be considered a Hall of Famer at that point. Because not too many undisputed motherfuckers in boxing. Just being real. Hopkins would have, but he ain't. I don't want to hear about what would have or who could have. It don't matter. Don't matter.
It's all about the here and now, people.
Yeah, none of these fighters.
What's going on right now?
Right. None of these fighters are fighting the best, bro. That's the thing.
That's what
none of them are. So when I'm gassing the fighter up just for the little good they do, that don't mean I'm a fan of them. I'm just giving them their props when they deserve the shit. Period. Don't get mad at me because you don't like them at all. Like you have a big issue with them. Period. I don't. None of these fighters will fight these dudes at their prime. None of them. And the money is there. You can't tell me Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford fight ain't no money in that. You can't tell me that. The only reason why I think we didn't see a Tony Ferguson Khabib fight because didn't Ferguson get hurt? Didn't he?
Yeah, man. That fight was supposed to happen about 4 times.
Right.
So it was like that was just like impossible. That was like one of those things where down the line we had slip ups from each guys. Like we had Tony getting hurt, Khabib getting hurt, not making weight the one time. Yeah, it's crazy. But
at the end of the day, they didn't fight. Why? Injuries.
Yeah.
Wasn't no, ducking here, ducking there. No, I want to fight that guy. I want to fight for this belt. No, I was like, bro, my knee fucked up. Oh, my hip fucked up. Oh, I fucked my foot up. Shit.
Man, you know what I mean? He tripped over, I believe it was Tony, tripped over at one of the UFC. Look, so they're there for the weekend, I believe, or they're there for some media day. This is weeks leading up before the fight. He tripped over a cable that was running over through the set, I guess, as he was leaving at the end and tore his whole shit like almost off the bone.
Wow.
In his leg, some shit right off the bone. I was like, holy fuck, really? I was like, this is just, it just wasn't meant to be. But you could just tell they were always trying to put on the best fights because they tried to schedule it 3 times and probably lost money on that shit 3 times, probably more than that. You know what I mean? Just for advertising, trying to get late replacements in and all that shit. Like, come on, man. Of course.
That's a freak accident right there, bro.
Yeah, bro. Like, that's why people were saying it was cursed. Tons of random shit. Like, just very weird. Like, I don't know. That'll be one of the weirdest things that I don't think we're ever going to see. And I think every true MMA fan, most MMA fans, man, they're going to miss that one.
Crazy. You stub your toe, your knee dislocated. Like, what the
trip over. Yeah, it's like a cable. You fucking just, I don't even know how you trip over a cable. Like, he was like, I think Dana was explaining the cable. It was like a thick, like one of those thick cables of a bunch of cables taped over, probably the one they taped to the ground or something. And he fucking probably caught on it and fucked this shit up. I don't even know how you do it. I don't even know how you do it.
Oh my God. Like you trip over that and then boom, next thing you know, like your knee is done or your ankle done. It's like, who would have thought? And it's like, no matter how many times we make this fight, no matter how many times we schedule it, something always freaky happens, bro. And it's just like, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy. That's crazy. Ethan, you could dip, bro. Because you always talking about somebody don't know shit about boxing because they don't agree with you. That's some punk bitch shit. Oh, you guys don't know shit about boxing because y'all not agreeing with me. Y'all not saying what I'm saying is the truth. Because you on some bullshit. You the motherfucking man. Well, guess what? You can be the motherfucking man about this bitch. That's what you can do. That's what you can do, bro.
So, yeah, so it was booked. Talk MMA Live. COVID hit the 5th time it was booked. So they tried to make the fight 5 times.
Wow. That's nuts, bro.
That's wild, bro? Wild. That's wild shit, man. Like, that's a testament to the UFC and why they're trying to put on like such a high take a lot of these combat sports fans into their realm and bring them all to the UFC because, man, like Dana always says, man, he wants to be one of the big 4. You know what I mean? Like there's college football and there's like NFL football and there's a couple other different sports. There's basketball and there's maybe one more, but he wants to be one of those 4 big sports in the world. You know what I mean? Like that big. So, I mean, salute to him for keep on trying it to grow. And he's going to obviously keep doing that. If he's always trying to put on fights like this. We're getting 3 fights in the span of like 8 days coming up on the 16th, going 16th, 20th, 23rd, all in Fight Island, Abu Dhabi. Fuck me, man. And then apparently they're trying to currently sit people live they're currently going to sell live tickets, obviously just, I don't know, for probably millionaires that can make it to Abu Dhabi and people that are living there, but they're going to have Conor fight in an arena with fans. So exactly. They're doing whatever they want, man. Dana doesn't give a shit and he's always going to get it done.
Yes, shout out Dana White, bro. Even though you're the biggest Trump supporter in the goddamn world, shout out Dana White, because at the end of the day, Dana White is keeping motherfuckers entertained while they at the house.
Oh, yeah.
During COVID. He ain't stopping shit. We still getting the top fights. We still getting good fights. And not only that, we getting consistency.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So shout out to Dana White. I was going to ask you something, Serge, because since we live, it's great to have this conversation live. But you want to start covering the whole MMA as a whole, like One Championship, Bellator, because I sent Myron some stuff from One Championship.
Yeah.
Know too much about One Championship.
Oh, I know about One. Yeah.
Man, One be popping.
One is popping, man. One is one of the. I believe it's One Championship is one of the only fighting organizations that actually mixes up the different disciplines of fighting.
Yes, sir.
Correct me if I'm wrong, bro, and that's huge for people, man.
Yes. They got kickboxing, Muay Thai, and MMA under one promotional banner. It's fucking awesome, bro. You
can watch them all on the same card, people. That means like you can really get a good full spectrum of a lot of different combat sports and fucking One Championship. Would I ever consider covering it? Absolutely, man. I absolutely would.
Yeah, I would love to cover some shit with you. I was looking at it the other day and I was like, I'm finna talk to Serge about this shit. We can cover some things, you know what I mean? Because I watched One. I'm a big follower of Stan Fairtex. I used to not follow her until I started working at Audacious, and everybody fucks with Step at Audacious. And I started watching her, and she's converted from doing her Muay Thai kickboxing, and she's in the MMA game now. And I'm like, and she's doing pretty good. And that's why I was saying what I was saying about Clarissa Shields, is because she coming from a striking background and she should work on her ground game. Because when I seen Stamp, when she converted, all she did was jits, bro. That was all she did was jits. Yeah. Every time I see her training on her Instagram or just on YouTube, anything of her training for MMA, she's always doing jits. She's never hitting the pads, none of that. Every time they say she's training for the next fight, she's always doing jits, always in the jiu-jitsu gi or doing the MMA rolling. It's never striking. The only time I see her doing striking is if she's really finna do a striking fight, Muay Thai or a kickboxing fight. That's why I'm like, she's doing it right, because she's like, I already got hands. Already got that. What I don't got is this ground shit. That's where I'm not cool. So I'm gonna just focus on that. Shout out Stan Fairtex, shout out Clarissa Shields, but that's what I think I would love to see Clarissa Shields do. I want to see her rolling. We just talked about this.
Bro. I was actually still looking at some Clarissa Shields shit. Yeah, I was watching something last night about her. It was an interview from like maybe 2 years ago, from like sometime in 2019, I think at some point, and she was already talking about, this is when she was kind of already hinting towards making that transition over. And this is before when she kind of did she apparently had done some other days with the different coach. And then obviously this was in one weekend. This was 2 years ago. She did a full day with another coach. I think she said it was wrestling and jiu-jitsu to see if she liked it. And then she said, I did another 2 days or 1 day of working out with Jackson Wink, with John Jones and company, and just to see what it was like getting hit and incorporating the full game. And she goes, that's when she was already saying, I like this kind of stuff. And people were asking her the same questions me and you were questioning the other night, and you're probably still questioning now. Is she going to be able to put in the work and learn quick enough and be able to have some sort of ability to either keep people off of her, you know what I mean, to not take her down, or get up, or even have some sort of at least a feasible ground game? Because I think that everyone needs one in MMA. I think it's not possible to run through with as high of a name as she has. She's going to get some top tier opponents at some point. She's got to get something working. So I think that, and she was also making the statement that she's really getting used to the wrestling and stuff like that. And I didn't know that her husband was a Division I wrestler, or her boyfriend or fiance. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So she goes, my husband knows how to wrestle. So, I mean, it's kind of in the blood. Like we're kind of, he's able to help me out when like we're just around the house and blah, blah, blah. So I honestly, and this was time ago, you know what I'm saying? This was definitely over a year and a half ago. So I don't know, man. I'm excited. I'm still excited. I think I'm getting more excited now that we talked about it. Now that I kind of was looking into it a little bit more, man. Now I'm getting more excited. You know what I mean? Which is good, man. I think people should be excited for women's combat sports.
Should, man.
Yeah, man.
Should. Hey, Talk MMA Live, man. If you want to join the panel, man, feel free, man. You're more than welcome to join the panel. I would like to get more MMA guys on the channel. I got most of the people that be on my channel is boxing guys, but I'm converting over to start to talk more about MMA because I am a mixed martial arts kind of guy.
You are a mixed martial artist, bro.
I know Muay Thai, I know boxing, I know a little bit of jits. You know, I could put your ass in a good guillotine. You know what I'm saying? I could do that really good. You know what I mean? So, but that's about it. That's the extent of my jiu-jitsu skills. I know how to do a kabura, an armbar, and guillotine. That's it. That's it. That's all I know.
No, man, I know you know your shit, bro. You probably know your shit than most, of course, because you live this shit.
Yeah.
And yo, man, Talk MMA Live. I want to vouch for him. He's good people, bro. I've had him on my stuff multiple times. He's good people.
What's up, MMA Live, bro? What's going on with you?
So, fam, you good?
Yeah, man, we're good.
Yeah, good, man. Good stuff talking about Shields MMA.
What do you think about Clarissa Shields coming to MMA?
I think it's good, man. I think it's good for the sport of boxing. But I just hope the matchmaking, they don't do it in the matchmaking. Like, they need to give her a few bums first off, let's face it. Because, I mean, the wrestling and the jiu-jitsu side of MMA, it's probably the most complex part of MMA. It's like chess, essentially. It's like really like technical shit, man. So she's, you know, it's like you can do wrestling for like a few years, maybe 2 or 3 years, but you're not going to be as good as those fighters who've been wrestling all their life, man.
Yeah, that's the whole thing, right? That me and Boone are kind of saying, like, you can't learn this shit overnight. We were talking about the other night, like, you can't. It's not something you can just pick up and become, especially with what I'm saying, with at the level she's at.
Yeah, man.
She's going to get some big fights pretty, not right away, but soon. You know what I mean? Like, we're going to see her. Yeah, you go on, man.
It's good that she signed to PFL as well, because they've not got like that deep of a talent, especially whatever weight she's fighting at. I assume she's going to fight like 55 or something like that.
Yeah.
Because she fights it like 160, doesn't she, Clarissa Shields?
What do you guys think about this comment here from Fight News? Shout out my boy Fight News. How Conor versus Dustin, the best facing the best. When Conor got dominated by Khabib, left, came back a year later, cherry picked Cowboy at welterweight. Now he's facing Dustin for a lightweight belt. What do my guys think about that? We're gonna start off with my boy MMA Live.
Yeah, man, I think Conor's the only exception in UFC/MMA. Man, he's like the biggest cash cow in the organization, basically. So they'll do anything for him. But yeah, it's like if you look at the guys below Conor at 155, like they've got to work to get a title shot. Like Charles Oliveira's a Brazilian guy, who's just beat Tony Ferguson. He's won 8 fights in a row, and they're not even saying his name in the title shot.
What you think, Serge?
Man, I think that I laugh at a lot of that because I agree with a lot of it. I agree with the whole probably the cherry picking of Cowboy. They're trying to build the narrative back up for Conor McGregor. Like Talk MMA was saying, he's a cash cow. He's Dana White's golden goose. He's the one he wants to keep around and keep happy. If he says most of the time, I want this fight, most of the time he's going to get the fight. With exception to some of the bullshit we saw from the DM messages that he leaked, but that's beside the fact. I think that in reality, I don't think it's a bad fight. I think that in reality, Conor, the reason why Conor might want the fight or might be a good fight for him at this point is that's a guy that he's already beat before. And I think in his head that he lives in those mental realms of wanting to get in your head, and he fights a lot more mentally than he does physically in some cases. You know what I mean? It's all about the mental game and the build-up for Conor. We saw his coach, Owen Rowdy or whoever it is, already calling out people like Dustin and saying, oh, well, Dustin's felt the power before and he got sparked out once before. I think it's still lingering over his head. Man, that's all kind of a ploy. You know what I mean? I don't necessarily think it's not a bad fight. I'm not saying no one says it's a bad fight. We all like the fight, but I think as far as I agree with what you're saying as far as Conor being able to kind of dictate his own way. You know what I mean? He's able to kind of move around and kind of pick fights a little bit more than other fighters. And I think we can all agree on that.
Well, I'm going to ask you this.
Yeah.
Good question for you, Serge.
Yeah.
And MMA Live. Who do you guys think has done more in UFC MMA? We ain't going to say MMA as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
But who do you think has done more in UFC MMA? Conor McGregor or John Jones?
You want to start talk? Up to you, brother.
Yeah, man, I'll go.
Yep.
Personally, I've got to go with Conor McGregor, man. He was the first. Mate, when he first came onto the scene, it was like a few people knew about him, like a few hardcore fans knew about him. Then he had all these spectacular fights. You know, he knocked out Aldo in 13 seconds. And then he was the first fighter to ever hold 2 belts simultaneously in the UFC. So when you're talking about John Jones, it's like, yeah, he's been fighting since, I don't know, 2010, 2011 in the UFC. And he's had all these title defenses. But if you look at like some of the, I don't know, man, maybe like 5 or 6 years ago with John Jones, there's always this asterisk with, did he test positive in those fights? Did he take something else in these fights? Like there's always asterisks next to his name when you're talking about John Jones. But the fact, I think I've got to pick McGregor just because John Jones hasn't yet gone up to heavyweight. If he went up to heavyweight and won the heavyweight title, it's John Jones all day. He's barely been tested in the octagon at 205. And if he went up to heavyweight, he would 100% be the best fighter in the UFC, in my opinion. But for now, I've got to go with McGregor.
Serge?
See, I can see where you're picking McGregor because how I break it down in my head is I don't really break it down for as much as an illustrious career for McGregor, because I think that John Jones has had a better career as far as talent fought. I think it's been John Jones. As far as Conor, what he's done in my mind is he's brought the numbers side of it. He's brought a completely different side of MMA out. You know what I mean? This kind of more flashy. And I know guys like Chael Sonnen did it and stuff like that. And they were kind of the pioneers of really hammering home that, you know, that bad guy personality in the UFC and being brash and braggadocious and shit like that. But in reality, I like to look at John Jones is a guy and Conor was able to bring that money. You know what I mean? Conor brought money in it from doing all that kind of stuff and from bringing that whole part in. But in reality, we got John Jones, who at age 23 when he beat Mauricio Shogun Rua, he was the youngest champion in UFC history. You know what I mean? He holds all these records in this lightweight division. We could say that one fight that he should be 27-0 and not 26-1, because that 12-6 elbow, we know it's all bullshit. True people know that that's probably bullshit. But in reality, he's got like most title defense. He's got like the records for most title defenses, I think, most wins, longest win streak. He might even have the submission one as well. I'm not even sure. But honestly, like I think I'd have to say John Jones for sure. I think that he brings a lot of negative press to the sport, but let's not say that Conor McGregor hasn't done that as well. I think both guys have definitely done that. The whole steroid argument about things, I mean, we could probably sit here for hours and talk about pictograms, you know what I mean? And what doctors say and what athletes have gotten tested with before and why you should always, fucking use shit that's like certified, that has that label on it to tell you that, it's not processed in a factory where there's any type of chance of anything else popping up. But I don't know, man. As far as that stuff, I don't even know if I want to delve into the illegalities, but
Right. One more good one. I got one for you, MMA, is what do you think Israel is going to do at light heavyweight? Me and Serge touched on this just last night, but what do you think that Israel is going to do at light heavyweight? These are bigger guys now. These aren't guys, like I said last night, that are his height and shorter, and he can kind of deal with the punch. He has good, decent punch resistance with these guys. These are guys that are going to be his height or taller, and these are thicker, more dense guys. And these guys got better punch resistance, and they could punch too. So how do you think live Israel is going to be able to deal with these light heavyweights?
Yeah, man, I think it's finally time for Israel to move up. I mean, if you look at the 85-pound division, he's pretty much cleared it out within like 2 years, which is incredible. But yeah, I think the style of fight he's going to bring it at 205 is going to be a bit different, because if you watch the Yoel Romero fight that happened early last year, I know it was partly Yoel Romero just standing in front of him with that shelled up style, just not doing anything. But it was a lot of the part of it was is he being concerned about Yoel Romero's size and his overall aggression. So you saw a more methodical Adesanya, but he still got the job done. Now he's fighting Jan Blachowicz, who's way bigger than Yoel Romero. He's a bit slower. You got to admit his speed's not on his side, and he's a bit older. But I think he's just going to fight way more methodical. Maybe it's a bad thing, but that's what he's going to have to do, because he's given up a lot of weight at 205. He barely cuts. He cuts about 15 pounds to get to 185. So he's just going to be fighting at his walk around weight at 205. And at 205, you're talking about guys who in off season they weigh in at 240, 250.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. Like, these dudes walking around like 240, 250.
Yeah, man. These are basically just small heavyweights that are fighting at 205. So yeah, he's gonna have to fight a very methodical, very cautionate. I mean, I do have him winning against Jan, but it's going to be a more technical fight. It's not going to put it on the line like he did against Gastelum or Whittaker, because those guys are his size or smaller. But yeah, I think you see him make a few title defenses at 205, and I know this sounds stupid, but I do think it might happen if Jones beats Stipe or Ngannou to win the belt at heavyweight. I do think Adesanya is going to chase Jones up to heavyweight.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about.
That's what we were talking about last night. We was talking about how we want to see Israel fight Reyes, and if Israel does away with Reyes, that's going to lead a lot of talk for Israel.
That'll be a great fight. Yeah,
like I want to see that, because I think I mean I told Serge, we all saw that fight And a lot of us watched that fight unbiased. It was like, hey, John Jones losing this fight, y'all. He losing. But he still got the dub, and we all know why John Jones got the dub, and it's because I'm John Jones. You know what I mean? Yep. That's what happens when you fight John Jones. You know what I'm saying? That's just what happens. Thiago Santos, I think, is a good dude. I think Thiago got the pop, but I think he'll be too flat-footed for Israel. I think Israel to probably kickbox circles around him. When I say kickbox, that's like boxing with kicks. So he'll probably just kickbox him, keep him away, keep him at bay and shit like that. You got to remember, Israel is not a take you to the ground dude. He ain't trying to take you to the damn ground. He trying to beat you the fuck up. So I don't think and Thiago is he a black belt in jiu-jitsu?
I'm not sure about that. He pretty much got bullied his last fight against Glover.
Yeah,
was taken to the ground the entire fight. That was kind of he was clipping Glover the entire fight. Like any time that Glover would stand there with him, and this is Glover Teixeira, he's a little older now. I think Glover's already 40 and he's making his second run, right? But anytime they were on the hands and feet, he was getting absolutely clipped. And I was saying this could be the next shot that puts him down and puts him out. And he did, I think, drop him even once, but was not able to finish. And then Glover just took over with his pace and just started taking him down and holding him down there and pounding on him. You know what I mean? It was like that. But honestly, a fight versus Adesanya would be very good because really what we've seen so far from as far as a guy like Thiago Santos is his last two losses, John Jones and Glover. I mean, both high level guys, you know what I mean, man? And to see him maybe take on Glover, bro. I mean, to see him maybe take on Adesanya, I'd like that. I'd pay to see that for sure.
I'd pay to see it. I mean, if your only losses is to arguably one of the best UFC fighters ever, future Hall of Famer, you know.
Well, his last two, he's got a couple, but he made a little. he's got one of those careers where he's got a lot of wins over top guys in the division. I mean, he's moved around at weight before, I believe, too. Like, yes. I believe he was fighting at a middleweight as
low as 170.
Yeah, he's moved around like crazy. Yeah. So he's moved around probably like 3 divisions.
And Paul Glover Teixeira, man, he can't catch a break. He was the next in line to fight Jan, and then suddenly Adesanya wants to fight at 205, and he gets the title shot straight away. And it's bad for Jan as well because he beat Reyes. He was like a 3-1 underdog against Reyes. No one gave him a prayer. They said, "Oh, Reyes, he's the guy who basically beat John Jones. This is his time." And Jan goes in there and knocks him out. Now Jan's fighting Adesanya, man. He's probably going to go in there and get out kickboxed, like Boone said. Just a nice, clean, methodical fight for Adesanya.
That's what I think. I think it's just going to be a slow, methodical. Because a slow fight for Israel is an Israel fight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
It's like if he could sit there and teep you, throw the jab, feint you, get his little kicks to the leg, get his little kick to the body, and keep you at his distance, that's all night for Israel. He'll do that all night.
Yes,
no problem. So, I mean, I think Israel will do cool. I'm just worried about when he fights a guy like Gaston at light heavyweight. Because Gaston was hitting him. And, I mean, he dropped Israel. You know what I mean? And he was getting him to where I feel like if that was a bigger dude and you get hit like that, I don't think you're gonna be too quick to recover from that as fast as he did from Gaston, because Gaston is a dog. Like I said yesterday, he does everything. He could punch, he could kick, he got ground game, he got everything. And the fact that Gaston couldn't get him to the ground let me know that Israel got good takedown defense, because Gaston did try to get him on the ground and it didn't work. So we'll see. I still want to see what he does because I'm telling you, somebody gonna get him on the ground. Somebody. I just want to know who. And then what is he going to do once he's there? because I don't think Israel really trains on the ground as much as he should. I don't know per se. Based on the training videos I've seen him, it's just mainly him doing little kickboxing shit and trying to basically working his takedown defense. But I've never seen him, unless y'all got something that y'all know that I don't. I've never seen him like working on his back and, you know, working how to get up. I've never seen that. So I don't know how will he respond to being on his back. And Fight News said Derek Brunson had him down.
Yeah, Derek Brunson took him down. I think Kelvin Gastelum might have taken him down a few times, maybe once or twice as well, but he didn't stay down for long. I mean, he threw up a triangle in like the 5th round against Gastelum. He looked pretty good off his back. And I think he's a purple belt in jiu-jitsu. I think he
just got it, actually.
Purple belt, yeah.
December 10th just got it. Wow.
And it's kind of a blessing that he's at 185 and 205 as well, in my opinion, because if he was at 55 or 45, he'd be in trouble.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that division's heavy wrestler division, or 170 even. I mean, imagine if he was at 170, he'd be in big trouble. Usman, Burns, Colby, they're all wrestlers.
Yeah.
So it's sort of a blessing in disguise that he's at 205 now, because there's not really that much. I mean, you talk about Teixeira is probably the best grappler in that division, and while it lasts on the feet for Teixeira, would you say
that in the bigger divisions, these guys are mostly strikers? In the heavier divisions and in the lower divisions, these guys are more wrestlers and grapplers?
Yeah, man. 205, 185, they're probably more striker-based divisions. I mean, people at the guys at 205, they can wrestle all day, but they're not predominantly wrestlers. You know, like Khabib, Usman, Colby Covington, they're predominantly wrestlers. Their main game plan is to get you to the ground, smother you, take you back, choke you out, or pound you out, sort of thing. But at 205, the guys can wrestle, but it's not the plan A. It's more like the side of plan B. They can wrestle, but they don't decide to use it. Or it might not be on the same caliber as these guys at 55 or 70.
Yeah, and it's a factor of athleticism too. You know what I mean? The bigger guys at 205 and at heavyweight, it's obviously, like you were saying, we see maybe more of a striking game. We see maybe it's once in a blue moon we see a guy that's like a wrestling oriented guy and that's predominantly just going for takedowns the whole fight. But you see a lot of striking at the lower levels. Obviously, common sense would dictate that the smaller you are, the more athletic you are. You know what I mean? You got to know more because you got a bigger tank. There's more. There is guys, don't get me wrong, that just throw, of course, right? There's guys that just have that skill in lower divisions to just throw hands, kickbox, you know what I mean? But there's even some guys that just have the skill to just do things like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu would take you down. You know what I mean? It varies, you know what I mean? We see a lot of different stuff, and that's why it's so entertaining, you know what I mean? Completely guys all over the board at different areas, you know?
What do you think is next for Khabib, Serge? I mean, we heard he's retiring, but at the same time, we hear that he might come back and all that. And I think Khabib on his Floyd Mayweather hype, like he gonna retire, and then when somebody comes of some significance, because Khabib's still young.
Yeah.
And I think when somebody comes of some significance, you know, I don't care who you are, because I'm 37 and I get that urge.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I'm giving myself like 3 more years to compete before I'm like, fuck it, I'm not doing it no more. But if this dude is in his mid to late 20s, he not done. I think if the right guy comes to pose any type of threat, it don't even have to be a big threat, just a decent threat, or if he can bring up enough clout, I think Khabib will come out and fight him. And technically, isn't Khabib still champion? Did Dana strip him?
They haven't stripped him yet.
So Khabib is technically still active.
Yeah,
Dana don't give belts to people that's retired. He strip you real quick.
Yeah, I know. It's this whole thing. It kind of reels back to what I was saying earlier. If you're one of those golden gooses for Dana White, you get a little bit of special privilege. We could see him definitely. Me and Talk MMA touched on it a little bit. We could see guys in that division fight for a contender belt, and then maybe Khabib come back, or maybe even 2 or 3 fights go by in that division, and then he comes back. But I don't know about him this year coming back. Like you said, significance. It has to be significance. There has to be big dollar signs behind it now. You know what I mean? And he's still in the testing pool. Khabib is still definitely still in it. But I don't know about him for this next year. I think he's definitely going to settle down with his family a little bit. You know what I mean? Focus on his farm, focus on his promotion, his MMA promotion. So I'm not sure.
What you think, Live? What you think Khabib is going to do? You think he's going to really retire, or he's going to come back when somebody of some significance may show up, or he's just waiting for somebody to show up to fight?
Yeah, man, I think Sergio made a good point there. I think I do think he's going to wait out to a fight that presents the most money. It's a challenging fight, but it sets him up for just so he can ride off into the sunset and retire after the fight. Because I do think he's going to chase that, that lucrative 30-0 record. It's just going to be it's going to have to be a guy who presents a challenge and is a big fight. Now, I think if Conor McGregor can stay at 55, maybe defend once or twice, I think he might come back and fight McGregor. Or if I think Fight News in the comments made a good point. He said Oliveira is a great fight. I agree. I think if Oliveira can get to a championship, I think that's a stylistic matchup that Khabib likes. A guy who's probably not the best striker in the world, but someone who's going to engage him in the grappling and pose a threat in the grappling. Yeah, I think McGregor, if he comes back to form, or Oliveira, they're good fights for him to come back, and I do think he does come back eventually.
I don't agree with you, Fight News, because that's my guy, and that was going to be my next question, and you kind of took it out the words out my mouth. GSP versus Khabib.
Yes.
Who you got? Whoever want to go first, y'all. I'm going with GSP. I don't give a damn.
Yeah, you go, bro. You go. You if you got anything you want to say,
I go with GSP because I feel like GSP is a very disciplined martial artist. He's very dedicated to just martial arts in a whole. Like, that's his life. That's all the fuck he do. At 55, Fight News, at 55, I think GSP could get him. I don't see Khabib moving up to 170 to fight GSP. I don't see that happening. So I think GSP will have to move down to 55 to fight him. Because I just don't see Khabib not fighting at his strongest weight, in my opinion.
That's the whole problem.
Right. So I think that GSP would get him because GSP has so much ring IQ, it's ridiculous. Do y'all know how he beat what's that dude name? Jimi Hendrix? You know how he beat Hendrix?
Yeah, I remember.
Y'all remember how he beat him? I saw the interview when he said how he prepared for that fight. He said, I knew that Hendrix was really heavy-handed. I know he wants to throw hands. He's not really too much of a ground guy. He got really good hands. He's really good on his feet. So what I did was I went and got a better striker than him. I went out and got a guy who was big and a better puncher and kicker than him. Do y'all hear what I just told you? GSP went and he knew the person he was fighting was a striker. So what he did was go get somebody who was a better striker to prepare and bigger. So I think what GSP would do is know that this motherfucker can wrestle. He got stupid gas. So what I'm finna do is I'm finna go find one of these top Olympic caliber, world title, whatever wrestler, top caliber wrestlers I could possibly find, and I'm gonna roll with this dude. Because I know that whoever I'm wrestling with Khabib is not better than him, or whatever you may say. And I'm going to focus, and he's going to probably put himself in positions like, because GSP, he got a whole cage and all that shit. So I'm sure he's going to literally put himself against the cage in a position where he know Khabib is comfortable and figure out how to get out of it. He's going to put himself in the worst possible situations. He's going to put himself in uncomfortable positions during training. And then he's going to figure out how to get out of it. And he's going to do that on a repetitious level to where when he gets to the fight and Khabib puts him in that position, he's going to know what to do. And I think that is what's going to be the difference maker is in GSP's preparation and also his already skill set that he has coming into the fight already. That's my take.
Yeah, man, in my opinion, I think that the fight's gonna, like I said, I think it's gonna be at least a year off for Khabib, and that's the problem. is how late is George St. Pierre willing to go and willing to stay ready for Khabib? You know what I mean? Because it already sounds like, you know, he's kind of already been harping at the fact that, you know, he's kind of bummed out that Khabib announced his retirement, blah, blah, blah. And I think that I'm a huge GSP fan. I'm Canadian. I love GSP. He's like an idol around here. He's a legend. He's a Canadian sports legend. But is he getting too old in age to take on a young, hungry guy like Khabib? That's the one thing that scares me. You know what I mean, man? Like,
I didn't think about that.
I don't know, man. Like has GS, like, is it going to be possible? The age is a huge factor for me here. And I know, because both guys in their primes are so comparable, and the amount of skill that they had, the amount of dominance that they had, they're very comparable. And another good point that Fight News is making is the weight classes. You know what I mean? I do think that if there's time taken off, it'll be some sort of a catch weight bout. You know what I mean? I don't know necessarily about but I do agree totally at 155, Khabib's going to win. And like I said, I'm a huge GSP fan, but the age, it just doesn't sound good to me. I would just have to think I would have to take Khabib. Gotcha. You know what I mean? Like I haven't seen a guy that's gotcha. So good in my lifetime this far. Like, and I totally stick behind him with everything that he's done. And man, like, I'd have to take Khabib.
Live, who you got?
Yeah, man, great fight. I think on paper, I've got to go with GSP. I know you can say Khabib, he's 29-0, all the dominant wins he's had, but man, on paper, it's GSP all day. That jab, that double leg takedown, he's just going to keep that jab in front of Khabib all night. Now, if it happens in the next few years, yeah, I've got to say, I will be concerned, especially if it's at 55. I don't think GSP makes 55. He's going to have to cut an arm off to make 55. I think maybe 65. I've been saying for ages they need to make a 65-pound title and have GSP and Khabib fight for it. You know, if GSP wins, he's a 3-division champion, one of the best ever. If Khabib wins, he beats a legend and he's a 2-division champion. You know, each fighter wins being in that fight. But yeah, on paper, I've got to go with GSP all day, man. And like you said, Boone, the preparation of GSP is incredible.
Yeah, that's why I picked him. It was just preparation.
Yeah, man. He knows to a T, well, nearly to a T, what Khabib is going to do. He's going to work him against the fence. He's going to use that Dagestani handcuff type grappling, you know, pound him out and work him against the fence. But I wouldn't be surprised if GSP goes all the way to Dagestan, scours the mountains of Dagestan to find the best grapplers ever. He'll bring him to Canada. He'll train for fucking weeks, and he'll be prepared. It's just the facts of how old will GSP be when he fights Khabib? If he fights Khabib, he's probably going to be at least 40. And what weight class is it going to be? If it's at 65, fair enough. I probably will pick GSP, even considering the age. But man, if it's at 55, especially with Khabib, GSP's age, probably have to lean towards Khabib because he'd still be in his 30s, he'd still be in his prime. But yeah, man, on paper, if this fight happened maybe like 5 years ago, maybe even like 3 years ago when GSP came back against Bisping, you've got to remember he went 15 pounds up to 185 and finished Bisping in the third round. If he went down to like 65. Maybe 5 years ago, got to pick GSP all day, man.
Right on. Hey, let me tell you something, Vic. I don't stick to boxing, bro. I'm not going to just stick to boxing. It's not going to happen. I'm going to talk about all combat sports, bro. Because if I sit there and talk about boxing all day, I'm going to just talk shit about people. And I'm not on YouTube just to talk shit or badmouth fighters because I happen to be one myself. So I don't want to spend my whole time on YouTube just talking shit about Wilder, disrespecting another grown-ass man and all that shit. I say what I got to say, and I say what I got to say. I'm not worried about the numbers. I'm not worried about that, bro. I'm not going to worry about it going down because I still got people that still want to come and hear what I got to say. So I'm here for the ones that's here still. So I'm not going to compromise who I am to appease other people. This is who DT3 is. So if they have an issue with that, that's y'all. But I'm going to do my thing, and I'm going to speak on what I want to speak on. And if don't nobody like it, That's their problem. I appreciate you speaking up. I'm not mad about it or nothing like that. But all I'm saying is I'm tired of talking shit about boxers. In MMA, they fight. Ain't no ducking. You duck, you gotta vacate or you getting stripped. The best is fighting the best. Ain't no excuses. You got excuses, you getting the fuck out this shit. So I get tired of talking shit about the same boxers, talking bad about them, disrespecting them. I get tired of that. Let's talk about people who are fighting. Let's talk about people who are going to fight, want to fight, and is doing everything in their power to make fights happen. We here to talk about fights. And honestly, MMA fighters fight way more often. They're more frequent and consistent than boxers. We have a better chance of seeing the best MMA fighters fighting each other than the best boxers.
Yes, sir.
I'll tell you that. So, and my boy Serge, like I said to everybody before, if you haven't subscribed, go subscribe. If you haven't subscribed to MMA Live, you better go subscribe. These guys know what they doing. So go fuck with them. I fuck with them because they know what they talking about. You know what I mean? So
I appreciate it, man.
You know what I mean? So I'm not on this thing to just talk shit about the LDBC and talk shit about Wilder. No. I'm not here for that. I'm here to give y'all open, honest, unbiased opinion about boxing and all of combat sports. And to give credit where credit is due, the person that really wanted me to do that was Myra Magnus. And who introduced me to the Surge? Myra Magnus. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to my boy Myra Magnus, Boxing Logic United, because he was the one that introduced me to this. He was the one that told me I should talk about MMA. He was the one that influenced me to do it. And Surge didn't help either. He said, hey, man, you know this shit. You need to talk about this shit.
I said it, bro. Right when we were on that live, bro, I said, you need to be talking about this shit, man.
Right. So if I'm going to compromise who I am for numbers or a dollar, then who am I really? My integrity is everything. I want you to fuck with me because I'm me, not because I talk shit about boxers or because I talk boxing. You know what I mean?
That's a good take, man. I appreciate that. That's huge, man. I think a lot of people respect that too. And Vic, we get the you only see one UFC. We're talking about expanding your mind, man. There ain't no such thing as just loving one discipline of fighting. It's all fighting, you know what I mean, man? And in reality, I agree with your comment. I agree with the shit you're saying too. So you know your shit a little bit. Only one promoter killing them boys for 50K. He's fucking slimeballing them. Like we said, he's getting shit done, but there's some snaky shit. There's positives and negatives to both sports, MMA and boxing. You know what I mean? We get pros and cons. Boxing, they get paid arguably what they're due. And I agree that more UFC MMA fighters need to make that type of money. And the UFC is putting ways of capping that shit. But man.
Yeah, UFC fighters should be getting checks, bro. They should be getting checks. The amount of training and physical abuse that they have to go through from cutting weight. Like, people don't realize cutting weight is a motherfucker. Cutting weight ain't cool. I'm glad. Like I said, I walk around at 155 pounds. I don't really trip on cutting weight because I'm blessed with until I get like probably in my 40s, then it's going to be all bad. But I'm still blessed with the opportunity to where when I work out and if I'm consistent, I'll just lose all the weight easy. And I can get down. Now, what's hard is getting down to 130 pounds, 35. That's hard for me. Yeah. When I was in my late 20s, mid 20s, I can make 130 easy. No problem. Because I'm walking around at 145 pounds. But now I done got a little older. Now I'm walking around 150, 155, almost 160. They say 135. All right. I can get there, but it's a stretch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm mainly comfortable at 140. I'm comfortable at 140. 147, those big, they big motherfuckers at 47. They too big, but I've still fought at 47, but I'm comfortable at 40. 35, I could probably dominate because most of those guys are going to be shorter than me and they ain't going to have the length and the reach and all that, and I could do whatever. But if I really want to challenge myself, I would fight at 40 and 47. Because of COVID, no events is popping.
Man, bro, because of COVID, man, it's killing the events. It's killing the ability for people to get out there and At least here it is, man. I know there's still maybe low key. There's some stuff going on in the States. I don't know about amateur stuff going on as far as boxing and stuff, but if you know the right people, you know what I mean? You got the hookups.
Yeah, that's the thing. You got to know the right people to get in there. That's why I was talking to one of my homies about doing one of these PKB tournaments, where the PKB tournaments is basically where amateur kickboxers, they come together and you fight on a mat, and it's all points. It's no knockouts. You go points, and it's a tournament system, and you fight that, and you get that as experience. It's kind of like a low budget smoker. And for those who don't know what a smoker is where gyms kind of get all the bunch of other gyms. They come together and they bring their fighters, or they bring one of their up and coming fighters that have little to no experience and really no amateur background or nothing. They just come in to get the feel of what it's like to fight in front of a bunch of people. There are no winners, there are no losers. It's just literally you get the experience of fighting in front of a crowd. Now, you could go in there and knock a person out, you still don't win, but you just get that feeling of what it's like to fight in front of people. An amateur fight is different. You got the bright lights, you got a bigger crowd, it's a different atmosphere, and as we all know, there's wins and losses, and if you get knocked out, you lost. You know what I'm saying? So there's a difference. But I've done 9 smokers, I've done 3 PK events, and I've had 3 amateur fights. So it's just like I've been doing this for a long. Actually, I've had 4 amateur fights, 3 in kickboxing, 1 in boxing. But been doing that, you have an understanding of one-on-one competition in front of people is pretty intense. Yes, it is. It is. No matter what you're doing, whether it's wrestling or jiu-jitsu, it's very, very an intense situation, especially when you fight in front of your family and friends and you don't want to get caught with nothing stupid. And then you also have to realize that the person that's standing right across from you, they train too. They are training just like you training, period. Might not be as hard, but they train too. So they know their punches and their kicks just like you. So now, in closing, live, you got any closing thoughts before we get up out of here? Any closing thoughts? Any fights you want to see? Anything?
Great show. I'm looking forward to some upcoming boxing fights, but mainly the UFC fights, the triple header UFC. We've got Holloway versus Cater. We've got Chiesa Magny, and we've got McGregor Poirier. Some great fights. I know one fight I'm looking forward to. It's not for a while boxing. It's Estrada Chocolatito 2. That's going to be a great fight.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Can't wait to see that one. Been looking forward to that one. I'm going with Estrada, though. I think Estrada is going to get him. I think Chocolatito take too much punishment, and I think he just going to get caught with something retarded. And I think that just – it's like one of those you can only block punches with your face for so long.
The shield wears out, bro. The shield wears out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've got Estrada for the win as well, man.
So I'm going with Estrada to win that, man. Yeah. But appreciate you, Talk MMA Live, for coming through. And bro, you are always welcome. Whether we talk MMA, boxing, you are more than welcome to come slide on my panel. You know, I'm trying to convert more of my MMA people to come through up over here. So I need some MMA cats because I'm still ignorant to some MMA politics. So I might need y'all to keep me honest. You know what I'm saying? When I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Absolutely. That's why we're here.
So yeah. I appreciate y'all for being here. I appreciate y'all and your knowledge, because you guys, that's what y'all do. These guys do MMA. That's what they do. Look, MMA Surgeon, Talk MMA Live. That's what they do. That's what they do. So, speaking of the devil, and he shall appear. What's up, Myron? I was just talking your black ass up. Shout out Myron Magnus, Boxing Logics United, bro. What's up with my boy? We getting up out of here, though, man. I wish you would have came sooner. We could have got a little insight with you, but I got to go. It's getting a little late, and the baby's getting sleepy and shit, so it's going to be bad time.
Appreciate you, bro.
But before I get to Serge's final comments, man, like I said before you came, bro, I want to say it while you're here. I love you, bro. Thank you for putting me on to this MMA shit. Like I said to y'all before, I never would have started talking about MMA if it wasn't for this man right here, Boxing Logics United, a.k.a. Myron Magnus, a.k.a. Double M. Okay? So the reason why I talk MMA is because of that man right there. Shout out to my boy Myron Magnus. And if you haven't subscribed to his channel, go subscribe to him. Peace and pugilism to you, my brother. Love always. And stay by your phone. I'm going to give you a phone call when I'm done with this. But my boy Serge, man, closing thoughts before we get up out of here, man.
Man, just appreciate you having me on here. And I love that you're taking more onto this realm a little bit more because, you know, like I was saying earlier, man, combat sports, you can learn shit from every discipline and apply it almost anywhere. You know what I mean? There's stuff you can, and it's just enjoyable. You know what I mean? I think that talking about boxing, like you were saying, it gets stale. Too much of it can get stale. And there's certain stuff that, you know, maybe rehashing and talking about isn't as important as maybe talking 25 minutes about UFC or MMA and what's going on. You know what I mean? I appreciate it though, bro.
For sure. I didn't change, Vic. I didn't change. I evolved. I got better. Y'all keep saying I changed. Like, what if I changed? Like, how have I changed? Because I want to talk about MMA. I'm just adding something to the repertoire. Now, when I start talking about Tony Ferguson and Max Holloway the same way I talk about Wilder and Ryan Garcia, y'all gonna love me then. When I shitting on them, when I start talking about how they not training properly and they should be doing this, when I start giving them that energy, we gonna see how much y'all talking. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I had to broaden my horizons, bro, and because of you, I was able to do that, man, and I'm greatly appreciated to you for that. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, thank God for Myron Magnus, aka Boxing Logic United, aka Double M. Because he was the one that said that I should be talking about this because of my experience and what I know. And I'm not saying that as a bad thing. I'm saying it as a blessing because he also is the reason why I know this man right here, MMA Surge. And MMA Surge just introduced me to MMA Live. So it's all coming full circle. It all
goes around, baby.
You know? So I want to thank Serge. Thank you again for sliding through.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me.
You always welcome. I need to get your email, like I said, because we got to wrap outside of this YouTube shit.
Yeah, bro. You want me to I'll send it to you in the private chat right now.
Got you. So that way, when we because I'm finna start watching some One Championship shit.
Hey, man.
And depending on how things go, bro, let's see if we can get a show, MMA show going on.
Yeah, man, we do one of those. We do one of those live. Or I'm even saying if you got the time for one of these fights next week, maybe we do a live for one of those fights.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like,
love to have you on a UFC and love to do a UFC.
Man, I would love to do it with you, bro. Like, I would love to do it with you, man. I feel like we need to be universal. We need to bring these universes together and stop worrying about all the toxicity in the YouTube community, whether MMA or boxing. Yeah. We can do more working together than talking shit.
That's what I'm always saying, man. Bringing it all together, man. Bringing young fans, young people, and shout out Myron. Thank you, bro. Thank you for the love. Always appreciate you for getting me into this. I appreciate you very much. But like I was saying, bro, it's about getting these fans because I love boxing. I came from boxing first, but MMA has just taken over and it's so much more of a spectacle. If we can get some of these young fans that are in MMA over to boxing for these fights and get them interested in boxing again, man, bring it all full circle. That's what I always say. You know what I mean?
That's exactly what I say, man. Yeah, man. I mean, I feel like there's nothing more that needs to be said at this point, man. Like I said, man, thank you, Serge, for copping on. Much love for you. Talk MMA Live. You more than welcome to bring your UK accent having ass on this bitch anytime, bro. You're more than welcome. Love to have you, bro. Shout out. Thank you. God bless y'all. Good night.